Hello. I'm just pinning a comment. So it's going to be like shaky for a minute. Hi Meg. Hi Kim. Post. Well, you don't want to do that. There you go. Oh, Neve. And Camille, maybe? Camille? Right, so today is French knots. So what I'm going to do is show you a couple different French knots on here, how to do them, and with the different thread thicknesses. So, good morning. I love a cheery morning, babes. So with the different threads, so I'll do 3 strands. Hello. And then 6 strands, and then 1 wrap, 2 wraps, and 3 wraps. And then you can see how they look. And then you can make the decision how many French knots and how many wraps and how many threads that you'd like for yours. So I'm going to start with the 3 strands. How is everyone today? The sun is shining here because I'm in Birmingham. Well, just outside Birmingham. And the sun is shining and it looks absolutely stunning out. I'm sure that I've just jinxed it though. So for the French knots, we're just going to put a little knot on the end, little tail, like always. I find it easier to do French knots in a stand, or if you can put the hoop on your lap. So sit in a way where you can rest it on your lap, because you're going to need both of your hands for this. And for this reason, I'm not going to zoom in very far because you need to see what both of my hands are doing. Oh, it's sunny in London too. Oh, I love it when it's sunny in London. So I'm going to do, maybe I'll just write it on the fabric and you can see. So 3 strands and then 1 wrap, 2 wraps, 3 wraps, yeah? And we'll do 6 strands, 1 wrap, 2 wraps, 3 wraps. And by wrapping the thread around the needle, I'll show you in just a minute, you'll get a smaller knot all the way up to like a bigger knot. So I'm sure that most of the people here know how to do it, but I'm just going to show again, just in case anyone who's doing the stitch along has never done embroidery before, because I know I have a couple people who are brand new, which that's completely fine. So you're going to come up from the back, hold your thread in this hand and your needle on the top, and you're going to wrap it around 1 time and go right back down next to where you came up. So you have this little loop on your needle. So with your left hand, you're going to gently pull it down so it's at the very base of your needle, not too tight, and continue holding your thread with this thumb. And you're going to push your needle down. And there you go. So there's your first one. You'll get an itty bitty knot like that. So for the 2 wraps, you're going to do the exact same thing. Come up from the back. Hold it with your hand. Wrap the needle 2 times. So there's 1, 2. Put it back down right next to it. Push your knot down and hold it with your thumb. Push it through the fabric. And pull. Yeah? So this one will be bigger than this one because we've wrapped it 2 times instead of 1. And then lastly, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Push it back down. And by pushing the knot down, you're getting it close to the fabric. And by holding it here, you're making it so that these threads stay tighter. Like my music is a bit too loud. And so this is obviously a bigger knot than this one. So you can see the progression. So now I'm going to do with 6 strands, and you can see the difference. I might mosey over and turn that down a little bit too. Okay, so I chose like a lilac color because I feel like the dark colors when I'm showing tutorials, they don't really show very well the individual stitches. So again, 6 strands, the same as before. 1 wrap. Bigger than that. And I'll zoom in on them in a minute after I finish all of them. This one will be 2. Oh, one of my hairs. I have long, thick hair, so I get hairs everywhere. And then here's 3. 1, 2, 3. Personally, I wouldn't go more than 3 because they don't lay very nicely. They get to be a bit like leaning over, like curled. Hi, Louise. Hope you're feeling better today. So here we go. I'm going to zoom in really quickly so you can see all the different sizes really clearly. Hey, girl. I didn't knot the back of it, so that's why it's popping up. This one as well. I just cut it. So we have the 1 wrap, 3 strands, 2 wraps, 3 wraps, and then 6 strands, 1 wrap, 2 wraps, 3 wraps. So I like to do these samplers so that you can see how big of a knot you might have to use. So if you've got a smaller hoop, like if you're using the 6-inch hoop, or even if you make your own pattern and want to do a 4-inch hoop or something, you'll definitely need to use smaller knots. So for these ones, I only used 3 strands. Nope, 6 strands and wrapped it twice, 1 time. Yeah. These ones, 3 strands, 2 times. So it just depends on how big of a knot that you need, how much space it's going to fill up. Okay. Hi, Tash. I thought you were going to go take a nap today. So now I'm going to change and put my actual hoop that I'm going to stitch on in today. And we're going to be filling up these areas right here. I'll show it better once it's in. These areas here at the top of your little flower that we did with French knots. So take your time on these. Don't rush them. I'm getting a shadow. I don't know why. Okay, yeah, so we're going to go here. This section. All the way down in the crack and then all the way to the top for all of these. And this one as well. All right, so where's the color I chose? Yellow. I will say don't use a really long piece of thread for this because it's just going to be tangled up, especially if you've never done them before. If you have, just jump on it because you already know. But they will get a bit tangly if it's too long. That's another reason why I like to cut all of my fabric around in a circle. So if you notice it's always in a circle around the hoop because the squares, the threads catch it on the corners when it's a square. All right, let me tighten that. Let's jump to it. Let's get going. So I'm gonna do the first one down, way down in the crack. And the other thing that I like to do with these is like try it, but don't follow through. So for example, if I think I need maybe one, go like this and see how big that knot is and think I'm gonna need probably 25 of these to fill that space. So maybe I wanna do two wraps. Again, sorry. So yeah, 2 wraps is a little bit bigger knot. It'll probably be all right. So I'm gonna do 2 on mine. So 2 wraps. Let me zoom it in for you so you can see. You want them to be quite close together. So don't worry about overlapping some of the other things or getting too much in the pink. I did mine pink, obviously, but too much into your petals. Because you want them to be close together, make them look like they're all one unit. So I'm just gonna keep going up and around. So I'm gonna do the outline first and then fill it in. Hi guys, have just joined. A couple people have. That pop of the fabric is so satisfying. You could also mix it up with French knots. So you could do big ones towards the bottom, small ones towards the top, meaning you could wrap it 3 times at the bottom and wrap it only 1 time at the top, and you'd get a nice little gradient of knots. So how's everybody doing? Do we like French knots? Do we not like French knots? I feel like most people either hate them or love them. I maybe should have even done 3 wraps on these because it's a lot of French knots. All the guys that just joined were like, no, this is not this is not the live that I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, dudes, we're literally just stitching. Louise says that she really likes them. I think sometimes they can be therapeutic, but sometimes I'm like, oh, just can't be asked to do them today. So I've got the outline, and I'm just gonna come in and fill the inside. And you said, I love teaching them at my workshops because it makes me really happy to hear. I've never been able to do them before. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Isn't it so nice when like you've taught someone something and they've never been able to do it before and all of a sudden they can, and you're like, I'm a goddess. I'm the goddess of teaching. Meg says, I love and hate them. And Louise says, I could just sit and do French knots. Then do it then. What's stopping you? just do a bunch of French knots. So I will say, when you're doing French knots, I'm going to zoom back out for a minute. When you're doing French knots, sometimes your thread might get quite twisted. So a trick for that is just to take your hoop and flip it upside down like this and let the thread dangle, and it will unspin like that. And that way, when you're pulling your thread through the knot, it won't get all kind of twisted together, because sometimes that can be quite annoying or lead to knots, and then you'll have a really unhappy day. I think just one more maybe. And oh, see, I went through the same hole. So now I gotta save it. My knot came out. And there we go. So I've got one all done. So I'm going to flip her over, do a little knot on the back. Again, this is just a personal preference. You can just continue stitching on the other side. Not the other side, the other knots, if you want. And after pulling all the knots through, you might have to go around and tighten your fabric again, because sometimes it can become loose. And that's okay. You want your fabric nice and tight. You don't want gaps. I think that's my biggest, well, my second biggest, I think. Maybe biggest, actually. Pet peeve is having a really lovely hoop that someone's done, and you see them on Instagram or in their shop, and they've just got really big gaps all along the outside edge of their fabric. I just want to be like, honey, you've done such a good job. Present it nicely. Make that hoop tight. Hi to you guys who've just joined. We're stitching. I said it was sunny, and now there's a big gray cloud that's just come over. We have two skylights, so one is just over there and one is just over there. And so whenever there's a cloud, like, I can see it like immediately through the skylight. Quiet chat today. Everyone must be stitching or have left. I pulled my needle out. Take a coffee break. Whoa. My soup cans. Because this is not meant to be a table stand, I have my trusty soup cans that go where your leg is meant to go. Hello, Dawn. Stitch is gonna stitch, I think is Carrie, right? She says, I'm stitching split stitch roses onto a tote bag. That's fun. Dawn, hello. Dawn, snap. Stitching in Knaresborough. Did I do it right? Did I say it right? Oh, good, Carrie. I thought it was Carrie. Don't laugh at me, Dawn. You know, like when you see something and it's spelled wildly different from the way that it's pronounced, but you just keep looking at the spelling thinking, I think I'm meant to say it like this, but the spelling is telling me, no, no, you are wrong. I think the other one that I get is like the Worcestershire, like the sauce, Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire? Worcester sauce? I don't know. It's brown. I can never say it. We make a couple things. Yeah, see, when I look at that, it's Worcestershire. Nope, that's not it. But I make something, I think it's meatballs or something that I make with a sauce. And everyone who comes over, they're always like, you can't say it, can you? Can't say it, can you? I'm like, nope. Nope, I cannot say it. Pearl and Pearl Handmaiden says, hello. Worcestershire. Chipotle? Louise says Chipotle. She says, I never know how to say Chipotle. But I only know that because that's like a Spanish word. Dawn, I did it. I think I just need you to write out the pronunciations like that, because after you do it, I can say it. So I'd like a list of all of the cities in England that are hard to pronounce, please. Not phonetically, but like how you write it. Because that's another thing. I used to teach English as a second language, and they're very much on the phonetic alphabet and like how to say the letters phonetically, but by spelling them in the phonetic alphabet, not necessarily how they're spelled. And everybody knows the phonetic alphabet, but I didn't grow up learning the phonetic alphabet. So I was always like, oh, I don't know. Just say it like this. Louise, I still can't say it. Or digestive. What's funny about that word? Digestive. Dawn said English is really hard. So the thing with English is that English is easy when you're learning English, but it gets harder and harder and harder and harder as you dive deeper into it. So saying things like, I can swim, he can swim, like that's easy. But then, knocked it again, sorry, giving you all whiplash. But it gets a lot harder as you learn more. Whereas when I was learning Chinese, I realized that, sorry, I'm reading the comments as well. Pearl and Pearl Handmade says, when you say digestive, I think of biscuits. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. But the thing with Chinese, that's really difficult to start, but it's really easy the more that you learn. So it's completely opposite of English. So all of the sounds are different, but the sentence structure is very, very easy, very simple. Whereas our sentence structure, the more you go into it, the more you're like, oh, all of these different tenses and all of these different. So this is what I mean about having the threads twist together. So when they start doing that, take your thread and put your hoop upside down and let the needle spin round and round and round and unspin itself. because it will definitely help. So Neve has just said, my name being Irish is a nightmare, but what's worse is my best friends are called... I can't even try that because it's going to be so terrible. Oh my God. Grian? But TADHG, I have no idea. Where's Dawn with the... I need an idiot's guide to pronouncing Irish names. Pearl and Pearl Handmaid says, I bet the D and H are silent. Teague. Ah. And yeah, I got Green's name. Ah. I used to teach with someone named Cian. Cian. And people would always be like, Cian? Is it Cian? And I was like, no, it's not. Yeah, Irish names are hard. Louise said, my kids' school want you to help teach the kids' phonetics alphabet, which I find hard because I'm used to the normal alphabet. Oh, no, like tiger without the R. So not... Yeah, like Teague. Right? Tiger. Oh, I'm really bad. I think it's really nice, though, that people have different names and, like, learning how to say people's names and say them correctly. Like, I think it's a nice thing to do. There's a couple that are like common names here, but they're definitely not names in America, like Siobhan. And when you spell it, it's like Siobhan or something like that. Yeah, I think that's how it is. And every single time that I see it on paper, I'm like, Siobhan. Oh no, this is the one that's Siobhan. Eli always gets called Ellie and he hates it. Well, Eli is definitely a boy's name and Ellie definitely sounds like a girl's name. So I could see why maybe he would not like that very much. And Meg says, I find... Oh, damn. Something hard to pronounce. Aoife. Oh, dear. In my head, I'm just... Effa? John says, is that 6 strands and 2 wraps? Yes, it is. You passed. You passed the test. Hello. Little Miss Dolly and Bo is here. Aoife. So Meg says, that's it, Louise. And Louise says, Aoife. And Eve says, is that one Aoife? Louise says, my family is Irish. So did you give your children Irish names? Is that a thing? Sorry. I've done them all today. Normally I save a couple, so you guys don't have to watch me stitch the whole time, but I got a little carried away, I think. Louise says biblical names, although I'm not religious. That's fine. Maggie says, so are mine and my mom's side, but I still don't know how to pronounce half of it. I think that's going to be my next thing, is to like try to pronounce some. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom out again because I want to give you... Meg, I remember seeing the name E-O-I-N and thinking, huh? Yeah, there's no way I can do that one either. Yoin? Yoin? Oh, I'm just making a fool of myself now. So tomorrow we're going to get started with this beast over here. And it's kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 different stalks. Owen. That's not Owen. I think it's so interesting though. So interesting. So there's these 5 kind of plant stalks here. And for it, you're going to need 3 colors. So I chose these 3. So kind of a yellowy green. Green with a bit of yellow in it. And then 2, oh, Jesse's coming. Hello? What are you doing? Did you just wake up? Did you just wake up? Yeah. Yes. Look at her tail. It's wagging so fast. Okay, sorry. So what you're going to need to do for tomorrow is to choose these 3 colors. So tomorrow we're going to use these 2. So just take the yellowy green or whatever the outline color is going to be and put it aside. And we'll focus on these 2 tomorrow. So just a close up one more time so you can maybe choose your colors. So like I said, I use the yellowy color for the outline. Just a really nice thin outline. And then these 2 colors are going to be for the inside of the plant. So you'll need 2 colors for tomorrow. And then I think on Monday, yeah, maybe Monday, we'll use this one. Okay? Pearl and Pearl Handmade said, oh, cute doggy. Yeah, that's Jessie. That's my Jessie bear. I color all kinds of things, though. Jessie girl, stinky, smelly pants, whatever. Huh. Jessie Bessie. Jessie Wessie. She's just looking at me like, let me out. I need a wee. All right. Well, prepare those 2 colors. You don't have to do anything. Just grab them and put them aside so that tomorrow you don't have to agonize over which 3 colors you're going to use. Yeah? So that's it for me. That's it from me. I have noticed that when I put the videos onto YouTube, YouTube is putting subtitles on the videos, and that's why it's taking so long. So normally I go live at 10 o'clock and then I immediately upload the video onto YouTube, and it's taking like 45 minutes. So, and I think I figured out that it's because they're putting subtitles at the bottom, which is great. I know some people, they do have a hard time hearing, or maybe they have, well, they're not deaf, but I know 2 or 3 people in particular who are unable to watch any kind of movies or films without subtitles. So I think that really helps for people who are any kind of hearing impaired. So I'm just letting you know that it might take a little bit longer to get the videos up onto YouTube because of the subtitles. Yeah. But yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow. That's it for me. And I'll see you then. All right. Bye.